Hi, I'm Lita Leapins.
And I'm Jim Gordon.
And welcome to another edition of Our City Tonight.
Well, Lita, for our viewers at home, last episode, we were here at Global to talk with Chris Smith. Now we're back at Global to talk food, cocktails, and wine. I cannot wait. Let's get right to the show.
Well, we're going to jump right into the cocktails. You have an amazing cocktail program here at Global, and we're with Martine, who is the bar manager, correct? And you've been 13 years making amazing cocktails. I know that some of these are your own creations, and they're just absolutely beautiful. Let's start with sort of your theory behind making cocktails.
Yeah, absolutely. Here at Global, we're always trying to use seasonal and local ingredients. We're changing our menu every 3-4 months. And today I would like to introduce you our executive cocktails. These cocktails are special in the way of preparation or service. So the first one is Empress Martini. This martini is made of Empress gin from Victoria, Vancouver Island, chamomile syrup, lime juice, and egg white. And we're placing this edible smoky bubble on the top of the drink.
Nice. Oh.
And inside of the bubble is the rosemary smoke. So you get all these beautiful flavor from rosemary as well.
That is amazing. Beautiful. That's your own creation, too.
That's my own creation, yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, well, I know that's going to pop in a minute. What do we have next?
So the next one is actually a really funny and cool cocktail. It's a melon ball with cotton candy on the top. This creation is made of absolute lime, watermelon, lychee, and lime. It's really popular, especially for Friday and Saturdays.
Oh, I bet. It's almost like being at the Peony. So those of you that are missing the Peony, we have it right here at Global.
Perfect.
What do we have next?
And the next one is actually for the whiskey lovers. We have our smoked old fashioned. It's come on the table to our customers exactly how it is right now, with this beautiful clutch full of oak smoke. And for this old fashioned, we are using a small batch Kentucky Booker's bourbon. Booker's bourbon is uncut, unfiltered, and is cask strength, so has a little bit like higher percentage of alcohol in it. That's why we are using the big ice cube, which is melting a little bit slower, to open it up. All the vanilla, oak flavors. Yeah,
that
with
is
every sip. Perfect.
Incredible. And the last.
And the last one is our illusionist. For the illusionist, we are using the ice sphere made of chamomile, honey, and Aperol, and we're topping it up with Laurent Perrier champagne.
That sounds like something I'm gonna like.
Exactly, yeah. And all this bubble from champagne actually slowly dissolving the ice ball and infusing all these beautiful flavors to your drink.
These all look absolutely delicious. Thank you, Martine.
You're welcome.
Can't wait to try those. So we're going to go now to Jim, who's going to talk wine with Tony.
Thanks, Lita. I've talked to several staff members already that want to see you drink the drink with the cotton candy first, so good luck with that. I didn't have the cocktails, but I'm with Tony Bambaco. What a great last name. He's the wine director here. Tony, new wine list just came in very recently. Let's talk to our viewers about what they can expect coming here with the new wine list, and then we'll get into the two that you've selected.
Well, fantastic. As we are the flagship restaurant for the company, basically what I did was took the wine list from the other restaurants that we own and combined them to make a larger wine list for us, and added some other wines that I thought were fantastic for this place, and try to keep it very local.
I love the fact, because Lita and I are both regulars to the whole chain. We try to spread our money around a bit in the group. But I love, you got a nice cross-section. There's enough there of BC wine, which I love, but also some international stuff. But let's talk about the two you've selected. Both I know well. and we'll go from there. You kick it off.
Well, basically what I did select for you, these are two that we do by the glass here at Global. First being your Burrowing Owl Pinot Gris. So I actually poured a little bit for both of us here to taste. This is traditional French-style Pinot Gris from the Okanagan. Really nice, easy drinking.
Oh, boy, that's nice. Yeah.
Really, really nice, easy drinking.
Okay, now Tony, from whites to reds, what have you selected?
Today I actually selected our Mission Hill Pinot Noir that we serve by the glass. Once again, another Okanagan product out of Kelowna, West Kelowna actually. Fantastic. It's a really, really nice varietal that we grow great in the Okanagan, and it's very juicy, very flavorful, and goes really well with a lot of the things that we serve on our menu.
Like Mission Hills. Hey, yeah, that's great. And they do go with a lot of what you serve here. Tony's got a new wine list. Come check it out at Global. We're going to come back and check out food with Chef Alex a little later in our city tonight.
It was a long, long storm. Great people tried it.
They blow Liverpool right out of the title picture.
So many people dream about our success. We have to make the next step.
He is an award-winning filmmaker, writer, director, producer. He has produced a wide array of films over the last 2 decades, including movies about legendary jazz singer Billie Holiday, about the disappearance of our beat population. He has delved into the cricket world. He has also jumped into football, or as we call it here in North America, soccer. His new movie is called The End of the Storm. Great to welcome from London this great filmmaker, James Erskine. James, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You're quite welcome. Hey, lots to talk about. This is a movie for our viewers out there that may not follow football, or as we call it over here, soccer. This is about Liverpool winning a lot of international trophies, including, I guess, last year with a great victory in the Champions League. But they hadn't won the modern-day Premiership, and their last trophy in the big league was 1990. Tell us about this ending of a drought and your movie, The End of a Storm.
Yeah. I mean, the name "The End of the Storm" was taken from Liverpool's famous anthem, "You'll Never Walk Alone," and really, it was a storm. For 30 years, Liverpool struggled and didn't win the Premier League. They had some success in Europe, as you say, but it always seemed to be out of reach, like there was an Indian curse upon them. And our movie really follows the club, it follows the players and the manager Jurgen Klopp over a season where they hope to win the Premier League, and their fans as well are a big part of it. We follow fans in everywhere from Wuhan to the USA, who all have this great expectation that Liverpool can finally overcome this curse, as it were. And of course, it seems in the first half of the season, if you know anything about soccer, that they're going to do that, and then COVID comes and the whole world changes. And really, the film explores that and sort of how the normal lives of those footballers and how they connect with the fans, really, in this extraordinary time.
Yeah, it's interesting, James, through the film you get to that COVID period like almost a year ago, this March, and there is that talk about, well, we should just call off the season. And I have a couple buddies that are Liverpool fans, and they were just shaking their heads going, there are far worse things in the world going on than the football season, but it just seemed like that curse was going to continue. It must have been great for the city when they said, we're going to find a way to finish this season safely and cautiously at some point.
Yeah, I mean, what was extraordinary was that Liverpool had basically won the Premier League by March last year when it shut down, and they were so remarkably far ahead and so dominant that there was no way that they couldn't win. So there was a sort of feeling of great injustice that if the season was cancelled, it would have been not cancelling a sort of fair competition before it was decided, but denying a team that had actually effectively won it already, and I think that was the great kind of like, oh, this could only happen to Liverpool, I mean, I'm a Man City fan, and Man City fans for many years would say this could only happen to Man City. The difference with Man City is Man City were generally the author of their own downfall, whereas Liverpool, it seems like that it's in the fate of the gods,
Yeah, I think back a few years to the legendary Liverpool iconic player Steven Gerrard and the slip, as they call it. I mean, things like that just seem to keep happening. One of the things I loved about your film, and you just touched on it, you're a City fan, I'm an Arsenal fan. I love this film because for a documentary, a sports documentary to be great, you've got to reach outside the box away from Liverpool fans. You touch on the great emotion that covers all sports, not just soccer or football. You have one element in your story where you've got that wonderful father and son, and I guess the grandfather has passed away recently, but just the bonding, the continuation of what sports does for fans, and that's a perfect example of the grandfather, the father, and the son.
Yeah, I mean, that was really something that I really wanted to explore with the film and make it as sort of universal, is the emotion that you feel, the emotion, and I think it's true in other sports too, but obviously in Europe, soccer is the big sport where, you connect through the generations by having this shared history through a football club, and there's very few things that bind us together, within our families, within our societies, and within the greater world. And that's one of the magical things about soccer, really, a sport in the Premier League, where, fans from Kigali to Mumbai to Vancouver can all be feeling the same thing at the same time.
Yeah. Listen, congratulations on this film. I really love the access, the intimate access you got with Jurgen Klopp and Kenny Dalglish and Jordan Henderson. It was great to see him and see his journey. The movie is The End of the Storm. It is available now here in our country of Canada. You can check it out on VOD and digital. James Erskine, thank you so much for joining us, pal. I'm sure by the time this airs, your team will be well on the way to winning another title. My team will be sitting probably in 10th still, if I'm lucky. But again, like you said, there's always another year. But thank you so much for joining us and celebrating and making this great movie for all the people and fans of Liverpool FC.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Cheers, pal. Thank you.
Liverpool back where they belong.
When you walk through a storm, that's the moment when you need support.
Well, we're back here at Global Restaurant. We, of course, have sampled some great cocktails, some wine, and oh, did I win the coin toss. A fist fight with Lita led to me, actually, getting to sample some great food. I am joined by the, well, I guess I say relatively new chef, executive chef here, Alex. You've been here about a month.
That's right.
High pedigree with some great hotels in BC and Alberta, but you're here now. You've been here about a month. Let's talk a bit about what you're doing with the menu, starting with the appetizers.
Absolutely, Jim. So my style of cooking is very much like modern contemporary cuisine, and my dishes are more like from global trends, what's going on in 2021. Okay. So here we go, the fried Humboldt calamari with a calamansi black pepper jam. I use a little bit of the Asian flair in the sauce. And then I have the albacore tuna, which is coming from British Columbia, and then I play with gochujang, which is a fermented chili paste from South Korea, and then a little bit of edamame hummus and pickled daikon.
Very nice. We should also mention, too, that you got a great happy hour list of food as well. Let's move into the three selections and a nice diverse selection of mains that you've chosen.
For our restaurant, we have a lot of vegetarian guests who are coming here. So I have great BC foraged mushroom risotto with a little bit of enoki fritters to give the textural contrast. And then I got some nice pea tendrils as a salad on top. We have the crispy half chicken, which is deboned and rolled back together. And then
wow,
it's
so rolled back together, very nice. So am I. All right. And you've got some nice greens underneath there too.
That's right. They're char broccolini seasoned with some salt and pepper, and I got some nice Parmesan cheese grated on top, and nice black truffle from France as well. Sauce for this dish, we got some caper raisin emulsion.
Our last dish here, it's nice that you've selected a few things. This is, I'd say, the casual selection.
It is.
In terms of just some comfort Saturday afternoon food during happy hour. What have you got here?
This nice sandwich you'll see on the happy hour, as well as our lunch feature. This is our KFC on brioche buns. So Korean fried chicken with honey mustard aioli, and I got some lettuce and pickles and a brioche buns, and it's served with the fries.
And Alex, I know if Lita were doing this segment, she'd probably ask, what can she, as someone who's gluten-free, what can she sample here out of the 5 selections you have?
We can prepare the crispy chicken, gluten-free version of it. And then definitely the mushroom risotto is gluten-free without the fritters.
Right.
And then albacore tuna dish, gluten-free as is.
So I think our viewers at home know exactly what I won't be getting a chance to sample. How often do you foresee you changing the menus? Seasonal? Will you be talking about maybe adding some new things as we head into late spring and early summer?
I would like to go seasonal. In British Columbia, we have nice spring, summer, fall/winter. I mean, every season we have beautiful ingredients coming from, all around like West Coast. And then if you go to Fraser Valley, there's amazing farmers growing chicken and duck and all the vegetables, mushrooms. So I like to go seasonal every 2 to 3 months.
Very nice. Well, hey, congratulations. You've been here about a month, but you've already kind of put your mark on the menu, so to speak. Thank you very much, Alex. Of course, cocktails and wine, and now we had some food. We're going to come back here at the end of the show. Lita will join me and we'll wrap things up here at Global Restaurant.
I wish I could go traveling again. It feels like this summer will never end.
She's originally from South Orange, New Jersey, attended the Newark Academy in New Jersey. Also, the Guildhall School of Music and Drama in London. That's where she honed her skills, paid her dues in the clubs and cafes of London. Lita and I first came across this wonderfully talented singer back in 1997. And her first album was Close Your Eyes. She has not looked back. As you can probably tell, full disclosure, Lita and I are huge fans of our next guest. Singer-songwriter, award-winning Stacey Kent. Welcome to our city tonight.
Great to be here.
Oh, Stacey, we are such big fans. I'm just going to mention that first album that you did with your husband, that actually became the best-selling British jazz album of 1997. And the accolades are endless. We could spend the whole show basically talking about all the awards that you've won. Now, you speak 5 languages, you sing and speak in 5 languages. Your repertoire includes American standards, French chanson, your original tunes, but also Brazilian music. Tell us a little bit about what your most impactful jazz influence has been as growing up and becoming a singer.
Yeah, I love that you mention all these things because, these days, look, we all just throw ourselves into the pot with all sorts of music from all sorts of genres, and they make their way into our music. When I was a kid growing up, I was listening to everything from what my older brothers and sisters were listening to, so kind of more folk music, hippie music, and also things like Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young were way more important to me than anything that my friends were listening to. And also, you want to be like your older siblings, right? So you're always aspiring to that older generation. Then also, I grew up listening to the Frank Sinatra channel on the radio, and Fred Astaire movies, and Rosemary Clooney movies, and then Willie Nelson, and all the things that I heard out west as well, and the Beach Boys, and then all the music from my grandfather, who grew up in France and then came to America and insisted that he keep France in the house. That's how my language relationship started. He only ever spoke to me in French, my grandfather, and he taught me about Léa Ferré and all of these great French composers. And so I'm just a mix of so many different kinds of music just because it happened naturally that way.
Hey, Stacey, one of the things we've discovered over the last year with musicians and singer-songwriters we've talked to is, of course, COVID. It's great to see people pivot and alter their game plan because fans still want to see you. You've got a spectacular website. You always are pumping out music and videos. Talk a bit about what the last year has been like. We're going to get into your new album later in the interview, but how's the last year been for you in reaching your fans? Because you've got fans all over the world. Talk a bit about the challenges and the success you've had in that area.
Well, crazy year, intensely crazy for all of us and for different people at different levels. For some people, this has been a terrible year of suffering. For other people, kind of more of an inconvenience. We're a mixed bag out there of people dealing with COVID. But the thing is, we're all dealing with COVID. That even being this cut off this year, and we are really cut off, we go to the market every 3 weeks and we fill up our fridge and then that's it. We don't see anybody. But thanks to the internet, I get to have these people in my life and I'm there for them. And people have come to me to say, I'm stressed out, I'm upset, I'm down, all sorts of things. And they rely on us for music. What that's given us is a focus because we're off. Thankfully, Jim and I have our studio here and we can make music. So we started recording these singles to put them out for people, just to make people feel good and hopeful and calm and, at ease. I mean, that's kind of what I'm here for on the planet. So it's been a weird year, hard and also kind of good. I mean, I feel that contact with people, and maybe I'm hoping that we come out on the other side of this and we still continue to feel that community. I mean, that's what it's all about.
Now, Stacey, you're no stranger to collaboration for sure. Your orchestral sessions with 58 other musicians, beautiful work there. But I also want to mention, every time we seem to pick up a collaboration of jazz, you're on it. The Punta Maya, for instance, you are in many, many of those. It's always a pleasure to see you and hear you on one of these CDs. It's just amazing. You're everywhere.
I love that. I mean, listen, I'm here. I'm going to say it again. I'm here on the planet to make music. And if it makes people feel a certain something, if it speaks to people in a certain way, then that is my job done. But no, it's not done. It's never done. And I want to say one more thing about being home during COVID. We're recording. We're also getting to work on a lot of things that we wouldn't otherwise have worked on. And it gives me an opportunity to kind of catch up because we're always on tour. I'm working to be a better singer. I want to be a better singer today than I was 3 years ago. And in 3 years from now, be a better singer than I am today. It's constant growth. So of course I want my music out there. Sometimes I'm going to be honest with you, because why not? Sometimes the things I've done can make me cringe. I think, oh God. But this is a path. We're all on a path. And I'm continuing to grow. So, there are some songs I will go back to and re-record, not just because I didn't like the version, because sometimes I did love the version, but just because I'm in a different place and I have a different perspective. And, you want to keep working on things.
Let's talk about working on things. As Lita said, we've been probably your biggest fans. We've got a very large Stacey Kent collection in our homes. Let's talk a bit about the new album, which I guess you've slated for the fall of this year. You've got a couple coming up, but we want to mention Summer Me, Winter Me. I also want to mention for viewers to go check out your really beautiful version of the legendary Bill Withers' Lovely Day. I also know you've done a version of Landslide, which is one of Lita's favorite songs from Fleetwood Mac. Can you tell us, update us on the next 6 months, the new album, Plural, I think you were mentioning before we went on the air. What can people expect between now and next fall?
So things got a little confusing, of course, because we had to cancel the release that was due in September 2020 and put it into this year. And we had already slated for something in 2022. So there's just a lot of music all coming at once. Summer Me, Winter Me, I don't know exactly when it's coming out. We've already recorded it and it's ready to go. So as soon as we have a tour, we're going to put it out. The other thing that we're doing that is really important to me and so close to my heart is that Art Hirahara, my pianist, with whom I've been playing longer than any other musician, apart from Jim Tomlinson, my husband, Art and I have wanted to make a duet record for years, and we're always too busy. And this year gave us the opportunity. It's actually working pretty great. He's working from New York. He's recording from his home. I record here. Jim is producing it. We have such a good dialogue. We can do this from afar. Would we prefer to be in a studio together? Sure, because we're chummy. But it's actually working fine to be apart. And we're putting out these songs called Songs from Other Places, which is a series. Right now, it's just a series of singles every 3 weeks that we're putting out. We started with Lovely Day. We started with those songs earlier on that aren't part of this collection. I know it's kind of confusing. But Songs from Other Places is because Art and I are in two different places, and all of us are dreaming of getting out there while we're locked down. So the atmosphere is the Landslide song that we put out already, the Tomlinson Ishiguro songs, Jim and Ish, Kazuo Ishiguro, the novelist, have written some new songs for me that are on this that just transport you automatically. This is a project that I've wanted to do for so long. I have to say, I'm so thrilled that it's going to come out, and it's going to be on the heels of the other one. And it's it's been really special to have these songs to create every 3 weeks, release them as singles. I mean, I never would have put out singles like this had it not been for the pandemic, but it's a big mishmash for people, but at least what they know is they're going to get a lot of content from me in the next year.
We're excited, and bring it on. It's never too much music from you, Stacey.
Hey, we should mention, I believe, Stacey, I mean, we don't want to embarrass you with the amount of awards you've won all over the world, but Lita and I were saying, I think you are the first guest we've ever had on our show that is actually an award winner of the Order of Arts and Letters in France. So congratulations on that. And yeah, it's been a great thrill having you on this show. We will have all of Stacey's information in the closing credits. As I've said to Lita many times, she's tired of me saying this, but Stacey Kent's voice, it's so smooth it can melt the ice cube in your cocktail, as far as I'm concerned. So thank you very much for joining us, Stacey. We wish you all the best, and we look forward to seeing you on tour. And come to Vancouver when you get back out on the road.
We'll be there as soon as possible. Thank you so much for having me on. Great to talk to you guys.
You too, Stacey. Cheers.
Thanks.
I wish I could go traveling again.
Well, Lita, we are back here where we started the show at Global Restaurant. Come check this place out, part of the Global Group. We've had some good food, some good drinks, some good wine, some good cocktails. Everything's been great.
Mm-hmm. And they have a really good happy hour, I have to say.
They certainly do. Hey, by the way, past episodes, you can check that out on the Our City Tonight YouTube channel. Lita, what else should we tell them? I don't know, you always remember the stuff I never do.
You can contact us through our social media. We'd love to hear from you. You can reach us on Instagram, Twitter, and our Facebook page.
And we also should say, for those people that maybe entered contests and didn't win, hey, don't get discouraged. We have more stuff, more swag to give away in coming episodes. I'm Jim Gordon.
And I'm Lita Leapins.
We'll see you on the next edition of Our City Tonight. Outdoor wear for Jim and Lita, provided by Helly Hansen, alive since 1877.
Soluzione Spa Products, a national luxury spa product distribution company located in North Vancouver, British Columbia. They have been successfully supplying and supporting spas across the country since 1991.